in my pan. Also, apologies if I sound a bit quiet. It's rather late and my throat hurts.
So, we're ready to begin. We'll recap that is at least.
Yeah. I'm ready.
So, Austin, Trek, we all good?
I'm good. Yes,
Cool.
I'm all ready to go.
By the
So-
way, can y'all hear me? Cause like,
With that,
of my
they
stupid
look.
little thing. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Just annoyed about Discord.
So-
Sorry, please continue.
Without further ado, let's jump into the recap.
Is it getting so loud?
It's literally not.
You're just imagining things. You're hallucinating. Are you recording, Austin?
Austin's from Vietnam. The trees.
Okay,
Anyway.
I guess the OST is just exceptionally loud. Cool.
Are you recording, Austin?
Yeah.
Good.
Anyway, we'll begin. So, God, last time on Power Rangers Ninja Storm, we had a little bit of a combat, a little bit of a fight. It was a session-long combat, admittedly, between you lot and this bounty hunter, who had revealed himself to be chasing after the one and only Sai Galanode. Now, previously you'd already found out what such a crime was, the civil unrest and subsequent uprising of the population of Talaman. Not necessarily the greatest thing to have on your resume,
Oops.
depending on who you talk to.
Absolutely not.
But, but after a long and harrowing combat, you all managed to escape by the skin of your teeth. However, unfortunately, one of your party members died. Well, at least you guys all think it's unfortunate, except for the sane person, the person that created him, Oswald. Boris was left behind.
Oswald
to
doesn't
turn
have a
into scrap
fucking
metal.
heart, is what I'm seeing.
I'm
I'm not getting on your ass about
but
it.
I can't understand it for you.
No, I'm not getting on your ass about it. I know exactly why you did it.
Oh no, I'm making a joke. I'm making a joke. I'm well aware why you left him, and I don't actually mind. I just think it's funny to say, oh, why'd you leave him?
We left Boris, you monster!
Yeah, exactly, see?
And I'll fucking do it again.
And I'll fucking
Anyway.
do it
May I
again.
read my eulogy for
Anyway.
Boris,
Anyway.
please?
After multiple of you going down numerous times, you escaped through the same door you entered in, expecting a night of relative comfort, instead being met with a night of violence and near-death experiences. Leaving Boris behind, you broke out and decided to head... Hold on, let me pull up my map. East, across the bridge. Is there any questions before we begin? Ooh, if there's no questions, we'll jump in. So, that's just the same playlist again.
You fucking
God damn it.
dumbass.
Yeah.
I really did. Hold on. Momento. There we go. So, as you break out onto the street and turn eastward, heading for the kind of low-arching bridge over the nearby river, you see in the distance there is indeed that same farmer's kind of shack with various goat herds described to you. What are you all doing?
Running.
Run.
Oh wait, did we get away?
At this point, Yvelde is still fucking running for their life. Periodically, actually looking back, seeing how everyone else is doing, and most especially if this guy's still fucking following us.
Absolutely. So, as you all race for the bridge and across it, you look behind you, Yvelde. No need for a perception check. Breaking out of the doorway behind you, not in a hurried pace like the lot of you, is that same bounty hunter. Looks towards your direction before raising a hand in a two-fingered kind of salute and vanishing into shade.
Oh no, Yvelde starts fucking running faster because does it look like this vanishing? Does it look like the teleport?
Teleport of some form.
Oh no, yeah, Yvel's just
We will
looking
never be able
bookend.
to sleep again.
Yvel already doesn't sleep. This isn't gonna help. Yvel's gonna turn to us and say, we should go to the trees, and I don't know, fucking hide, I guess.
Yes, that sounds like an excellent idea.
By the way,
Fucking
Sai,
Also, I'm
as
very
he's
strong
running,
because
is
I take
very
that potion.
injured.
Sorry, what was that, Track?
As we're running, Sai is extremely injured. He is hurt. He looks bloody, very, very bloody and hurt and
Is
injured.
it 4 HP or lower?
It is under 20 HP.
Well, I'm at 4. I am
Well, I'm at.
2
Oh,
steps from
yeah,
the
we're
grave.
all.
How far am
yeah,
I? I actually should
we
open
are.
Yvel's sheet. That's probably
Anyway,
a good prerogative to
As
do.
you all go running, Oswald, very much so in the lead, with his potion of, was it Hill Giant Strength?
Hill.
Yeah, so
I'm not
strength
even
for
God damn
bloody,
it,
21.
Bobby! I told you not to start an uprising.
Now, as you race over the bridge, the chaos of your footfalls paints this uneven picture with the relative peacefulness of the town. You pass by this Craster's estate, shall we say, but you do see, as you pass by and race for the tree line, hidden underneath some shitty kind of burlap tarp, is you can see a dismantled ballista of some form,
Oh my god.
and you race for the tree line and break into it.
What the fuck?
Do you not remember Reginald, the old advisor who got
No, I
ballisted?
remember
Get
exactly,
dragged by
but
ballistas.
I need to know the backstory here.
Yeah, well, you can come back. But anyway.
Can we?
Yeah, man. Of course you can. But as you race for the tree line and break into it, are you all attempting to hide or continue on? I'm assuming you're heading in for like a couple minutes or so, like just
Yvel's
wait.
heading decently deep into the forest and is
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
be motion for the
town
others to
now,
follow
right?
in. Yeah,
Basically,
essentially.
basically gotta if we want to survive.
For an objective, survive.
Okay, so you're heading into the forest. That much is clear to me. But are you attempting to hide once you're further in there, or are you just
Yes.
leaving?
We're
Like hide and recuperate for the
How
night,
does
or
we're
everyone
gonna
else
have
look?
to.
Because
Sai
okay,
is
firstly,
gonna
what
propose
time
the
of day
idea
is
if we
it?
did.
And two, how injured does everyone else look?
Back, what the fuck did you do?
5 p.m. So now it would be approaching sunset, the start of it.
We should
Yeah, we're gonna
probably
have to
wait for
find-
dusk and try to hide in the dark because then we have a better chance of hiding if this guy actually decides to follow us.
Yes, I'm, despite my new bowstring, incredibly injured. I need some god's damned rest.
I think we all do.
Okay. So with that, I will say this: you can either all make me group stealth check right now, or this one would have a higher DC, or someone who is proficient with survival or nature can lead you further. Can roll a survival initiative check for me to lead you further in, and you make that check, the next stealth check with advantage, and it'll be a lower DC. Up to you,
Track.
but
Are you
time
proficient?
is of the
I am
essence here.
proficient in both nature and survival. I'm proficient in both, but I'm better at survival.
Right. Well,
Survival
it's up to
then.
you guys as a group as to what you want to do.
I mean,
Bear in
okay,
mind,
The one
you
that
will
gives
spend
us
more time doing
advantage.
this.
group stealth check would probably not be the best idea because
It'll be a group
currently
stealth check regardless. It's just that the other one requires Sai to lead you further in. It'll be a lower DC, but advantage.
I think with a lower DC and with advantage is better because like my stealth is not that good and I believe that Oswald has disadvantage for stealth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
will
so-
let the moon
Bars
dice
didn't.
decide this one if we're doing this. You guys
Oh,
ready?
we're doing
I'll-
this.
I'm
You're
gonna- I'm
deciding how successful this is. Our lives are in your hands, Track.
Well, that ain't a bad roll.
Wait,
I
can we get a
got
second?
20,
Too late.
22. 22 on survival.
Okay. Then all of you, please roll me a group stealth check.
Oh boy.
So stealth checks from all of you with advantage.
Oh, with advantage?
Yep.
Yes.
That's good. I rolled a 2. Ooh, that's a 16
Oh, it's
plus.
just a straight roll. I don't get to
1.
roll again.
Oh God.
Oh no. That's a 17 total.
I got a
Um,
15.
Oh,
I got an 8
With advantage?
with advantage.
Oh my god.
The other one was a 4.
Oh god.
guys, come on! I didn't. The DC wasn't even that high.
Why
The
did you send this kind of entity after us?
The DC was 14, and you got a 13 total.
Wait, okay, wait, did you roll for promise?
Yeah, maybe
No, I
she can
didn't
get a
roll for
nat
Please
20.
promise.
roll for just roll for promise on
Oh,
D&D.
fine. I'll roll for promise.
Coward.
I'm gonna bring your shit down. Watch this.
Please, I'm just hoping it doesn't. If it brings our shit down, guys, I'm sorry.
That's a 6, and this one is that's a 10. So hold on. I'll I'll check.
Oh god. Guys, if this brings our group check down, I'm sorry.
It brings it down. It brings it down to a 12.
In my defense,
So we're offering up Psy when he finds us, right?
Yeah, basically. That's kind of what.
Anyway.
We are quadruple fucked.
Anyway, as Sai leads you further into the branches of the beneath the branches of the trees that make up this forest, kind of dark shadows crawl over your faces as sun begins to set over the horizon. There isn't like dogs barking upon your heels or villagers screaming and you see lights and people wielding pitchforks in the distance. There's none of that. Most people just saw a group of adventurers running out of a tavern and some guy walk out after them. As much as you guys are at unease because of the previous encounter, you appear to be in relative safety for now. And as Sai leads you to what appears to be a former bear den, with the 22 on the survival, I believe it was,
Yes.
you yourself would notice that this bear den is no longer in use because behind a set of bushes, fuck, why did I forget that word? Behind a set of bushes, you see that there are long decayed remains of the head of a brown bear.
DM,
Yes.
can Sai quietly pull out his scimitar?
Sure.
Alright. That is what Sai has done, and I am now holding my scimitar, and I look about ready to. I look like an animal backed into a corner.
Right. To be clear, the bear is long dead. You would know that this has probably been months.
Oh, Sai is not afraid of the bear. He's afraid of the thing chasing at them.
Fair enough. But you guys can all attempt to go into the actual den. It's a sizable little cave. You could all fit in there. You wouldn't be able to have a fire, but you would be able to rest.
Sai is going to
Yay.
position himself. Sai is going to creep around and position himself to not the entrance, but somewhere where he can see the entrance, but stay obscured. And he's going to say, "Everyone, stay quiet." As he said, and he's going to say this while around the corner with his scimitar in hand to make sure that they aren't being followed still.
no shit. Should we go in deeper into that thing? Maybe we should stay closer to the entrance. That way, if something does come after us, we can get out easier and quicker.
Has the potion of strength worn?
No, you got about 30 minutes left now, homie.
Okay.
Well, I'd say 40, actually. So, as you spend this time in relative silence, this kind of eked out anticipation, a little bit fearful.
After when 30 minutes passes, or roughly 30 minutes passes, Sai will go back with the group and relax. But that's after 30 minutes, if nothing happens.
Sure. But as you spend this time in kind of fearful anticipation, it passes you by. The downward spiral of the sun begins to lead into just peaceful dusk. And eventually, just the start of night. There's no real sound about you other than the actual wildlife that make up this forest.
You guys should get some sleep. I'll keep watch. Yuval kind of just sits down by the mouth of the cave and just like hands ready to like cast anything if like necessary.
How malleable?
So there is currently like a loose layer of dirt and soil and whatnot and old remains, but it is just a cave is the thing. It's just a shallow cave.
All right, then. Over the course of the, I guess, short rest, Oswald is just gonna be like slumped against the wall, pulls out some scrap bits of metal, and has tinkered them to be basically that same shape as the cortex that Boris had. Scribes runes on it, and before decides he's gonna go to bed, and night has fully come upon them. Yeah, he's just gonna be. Still be. Goes outside and he buries it,
Don't go too far.
so that in the morning it'll grow to be a full-size Boris.
Yeah, just like the Cadmus soldiers, bro.
Does you do I would I see him doing that?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
And so this is when I'm walking back into the cave.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just bulging.
You buried it in the ground.
It has to tune to the ley lines. It's a mostly magical process. What I'm trying to rectify with more industrial methods. But for now, this is how it has to be done. Because lack of machine shop. I'm
Yeah, no, you should take your rest. So, well, the only good thing I'd say that's come to the situation is that she rolls up her sleeve, showing the sigil in her hand, drawn in ink. I figured it out.
figured what
I
out.
well, it's okay. How do I explain this? The Keeper doesn't exactly just, it's not that I wake up with knowledge of magic from the Keeper. Well, I mean, not specific magic. I wake up with knowledge of magical concepts and then I meld them into spells, I guess, would be the best way to describe it. Eventually, it takes a long, long time and a lot of effort, but I figured out how to expedite the process. And Evel takes out this like one of the her journals and puts it on the ground and starts unfolding it. And sure, one of the spreads is just your regular journal spread, but attached to it are other pieces of paper that unfold into this amalgamation of something between a map and a conspiracy board with various like colored lines drawn from certain points, sigils and arcane inscriptions weaving and overlapping. And she just looks at me and says, I figured it out.
Just staring down at this abomination you have unrolled into this cursed world. He just looks up at you and says, sorry, you gave me flashbacks about when I was in school. Continue.
Oh, well, sorry about that. I just, uh, look. And, like, traces one of the sigils and starts moving their hand. And essentially, you see this, like, ghostly, like, apparition of Yvel's hand just separate from her own as I cast Mage Hand. I I figured it out.
Hey, Chen.
Well, more than that, I don't really have enough uh energy, so to speak, to really get anything else done. But I figured it out.
Oh, well, that's good. Perhaps you'll unlock something Greater.
Oh, you have no idea what this means.
Okay.
You should go to bed. I'm tired, but also am the only one here who can reliably stay up the entire night and not suffer any ill consequence. You should get some sleep.
Where's Sai?
Sai is currently laying down with his scimitar next to him and kind of just taking a breath, but also kind of like he looks stressed, like tired and stressed.
Oswald just kind of stares at you for a few unblinking before pulling out his stolen bedroll and getting ready.
Every single time I forget that you have that, and every single time it hits me like a sledgehammer to the knees.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sai will, while you're looking at him, he's gonna glance up at you once and look back down, and you see that he looks kind of sad.
So, is there anything anyone else wants to do? Or do you all just want to sleep?
After a while, Evelda is actually going to turn to Sai and say, So, do you want to talk about it?
Not right now. Maybe in the morning.
That's fair. That's fair. Sai, I have an honest question.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm a coward?
If anyone's a coward here, it's me.
I just
I. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. I just I usually I don't like running from fights. You know, it's like my mom always used to say. It's you gotta finish the battles you picked. But here, it's I don't think she's ever been in anything like that where where it was actually threat of genuine death if she kept fighting.
It's my fault anyway we got into this mess. I am a coward for thinking I could. And he just kind of like trails off and
You're,
he seems a very, very defeated in the actions he has taken.
you know what? I mean, yeah, this whole thing is your fault, but before you say anything, I don't mean this as me being upset with you. I mean this as objective fact. We end up fighting this guy because you're kind of a wanted man, apparently, and we end up fighting him because you decide to stand up to him. But that doesn't mean I don't have your back in this.
I appreciate your comfort. It's, uh, it's just that he's obviously not the only one after me, or after us. I'm putting all of you at risk just by being here. It's, I, I wouldn't ask any of you, to give your lives for me, especially for stupid mistakes I've made in my past. Any of you are free to leave at any time.
Well, it's good news then that you don't have to ask me, do you? Yell actually does approach Sign and tenderly puts a hand on your shoulder. Whatever the stupid fucking mess you got yourself in, I'm sticking by you. Because this guy's a dick. And yeah, maybe you might have done things in the past better, but I don't think dwelling on that and feeling bad about the mistakes you made is gonna get you anywhere.
No, it won't. Just. It is obvious that we are two weak right now to really stand a chance against him. And Sai kind of you see a glimpse of like fear in his eyes, and like out of everything you've known him, he's been like afraid, but this time he seems a different level of afraid. He seems kind of it's not like a moment of weakness, but with his bloodied state, it is very apparent that he is aware that that we all just came into contact with a near death experience.
Well, if anything, I'm gonna stick by your side. I can't necessarily speak objectively for Oswald or Promise, but mm, I'm sure they'll agree with me.
They
Just
may
took me away
not.
from my sons.
I'm sorry. Uh, I didn't. In the moment when I was picking the fight, I just figured him to be another one of a rich man's fucking. And he trails off again, but this time this one is more frustrated, and he clenches his fists and kind of grits his teeth a little bit as he says it. But he's like, "Those damned elitists! I will get him back for this. He will die along with the rest of them." And when he says that, he's just kind of like angrily looking at the ground.
Sai, did you have to deal with bounty hunters before this guy?
Not exactly, but the only bounty hunters I'd ever seen were nothing compared to him. Most of them were just sellswords, just people. They had a few weapons, but none of them had magic. Well, they did, but not to this scale. He overpowered all 5 of us like it was nothing. And
Or Adam is not here. Well, I guess if you count Boris. It's a shame about him. But Oswald's regrowing him.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, hey, you wouldn't have by any chance know, how to use... Okay, I've been thinking in regards to this whole thing, it may be a good idea for us to figure out a way to hide your face.
Hmm. Mask or cloak could work. Mask along with
I'm
the cloak would be
thinking.
even better.
Yeah. Uh, I'm sure we've got plenty of cloaks to spare, but, in regards to masks, so kind of looks around, um, just still looking out into the forest. You wouldn't know how to use wood carving tools, or whittling or anything like that.
Uh, no. I don't really dabble in woodworking. I do have a herbalism kit for potions, he says with a kind of like a look on his face.
Hmm. Well, no, that wouldn't really be helpful in regards to making a mask. I imagine they
Oh,
might have something in regards to this. We'll think of something. You get your rest. I have some thinking to do.
fair enough. I'll see you again in a few hours. Perhaps we can talk more after if you'd like.
Absolutely, but in offense, you look like if I poked you, you would keel over. I'm not going to demonstrate because I do not want to need to resuscitate you, but get some
I
rest.
I will get rest and use a practice that my old teacher used to use whenever we would get roughed up. He's gonna say with a slight smirk, Drew bringing the only form of happiness to him now as he goes over to his bedroll that he had prepared earlier and prepares to meditate on top of it.
You do that. You're also going to head to like the mouth of the bear den and just find a rock or maybe a log to sit on and decide just to watch. Just Yveld is not reading the journal, not looking at any notes. Initially, they do actually like kind of reach for their newly made spell book, so to speak, to actually do some work on it, and then decide against it, choosing just to keep watch for the entire night.
Okay. With that, Yvel, roll me a perception check.
So that is
Actually, hold on. Do you have any form of light with you?
I mean, could I say that I cast a bit of dancing lights,
You
positioning
can,
them
but
rather.
do you want to have light with you?
Shit. Oh god. Oh god.
It's up to you. You either roll with disadvantage or you have light with you the whole night.
I would say light, just so you can actually see them if they
Say
come.
yeah, fuck it. The first roll is a third. I mean,
You only
no.
roll then.
I honestly would actually say
no.
probably do not keep the light, because like a singular light in a dark forest is pretty easy to see. I'm not risking it. Like, shit. I don't know. Okay, on one hand, well, okay. If anything, if I have the light up the entire night, I will be able to see them. Come near. So yeah. Uh, Hival does cast dancing lights, positioning them decently close to the den's entrance. They don't really look like, they look at a distance almost like stars, but the closer you do, the closer you get to them, the more they look like these small pieces of phosphorus seaweed that just float in the air and glow. So the first roll was a 13 plus however much, so 17 total.
Okay, so that's it then. No more.
Oh, right, because yeah.
So,
His
with
light.
17. Though, even with your own kind of narrow cone of light to gaze out of the mouth of this cave of, you see nothing cross its beams or pass through the clearing, though you do hear numerous things shuffle about through the night, some particularly close to you, but nothing that sounds humanoid. At least nothing that you can tell sounds humanoid. And your night has passed you all by relatively uneventfully. You can all take a long rest.
Uh-huh.
Yay.
And
DM, was I able to add wild shapes per long rest?
Per every time you declared it for a trance, you just have to declare that you're gonna meditate on wild shapes. That's what we
Oh,
say.
alright.
1 second, DM. I actually have a thing that I'm gonna be doing right after my. I just need to check if this is an actual. Okay, great. So. So after finishing their long rest, Yveld is gonna actually like look around a bit. Also, okay, I'm selecting proficiency in wood carving tools instead of archaic undercommon for my Secrets of the Lost ability.
Mhm.
And upon finishing the long rest, upon the sun rising, you realizing, holy shit, yeah, we're fine, at least for now. Willow just ominously rolled a bunch of dice. I'm very scared. Yveld is actually going to look around to find a size of wood from which to potentially make a mask. Yeah.
Well,
What?
what do you want? You're gonna look around.
Yeah.
I thought you were like you sounded like you were gonna keep that sentence going. That's why I was
No.
waiting.
No, I'm not keeping it going. That's all I got to say. I'm not looking for like a big hunk of wood. Just like, also question. I'd assume that like I get that. Okay, so my main question is like, would I be able to use my wood carving tool proficiency if I was to use my knife as a makeshift substitute?
No.
Damn it. Fuck.
No, you would not.
DM, I would like to have fucking flep on the giant boar and the constrictor snake. If I
I
can
thought
do
we
that.
already agreed on that one. I guess we
Yeah.
did. No,
No,
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
No, that's alright. Yeah, that's fine. I just thought we already said that one was the case. Okay, so Yveld, it doesn't take you long to find a kind of knocked over log that you can easily peel back some of the bark from, revealing a rather rotting remains. However, if you wish to get anything more substantial, you gotta go for a treat, bro.
Okay, question. Is there any trees from which I could peel off a decent piece of bark?
Peel? No. Cut?
Cut,
Yes.
whatever, just remove a decent piece of dry, non-rotting bark.
Sure. Get ready to start cutting.
Sure.
So, are you trying to do like a specific shape or just a decent amount?
Decent amount that I'm then gonna like whittle away into a more usable
Okay.
shape.
So, I'll say it does take you a while to carve it out, but eventually you have a sizable rectangle shape that could, you know, just a little bit over the size of a human's head.
Mm-hmm. Great. Is everyone awake by this point?
I mean, that's up to them.
Is everyone awake at this
Yes,
point?
I know Sai would be awake for sure.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, yeah, Yvel's gonna approach Sai, kind of holding out this piece of bark and says, so good news. Um, I would have really thought we had actual wood carving tools. I'm making do. Just stand still for a second. I'm gonna place the piece of bark next to his face, marked kind of with my charcoal stick, kind of like where exactly I'll need to make like the
Right, right.
cuts for it.
All right,
Yeah.
give me one second. So, Sai, as she does this, you realize very quickly what like Yuvel's trying to do in presumably making you a mask, and you're like, we've got plenty of spare cloth from cloaks and stuff, man. But sure.
Sai is actually going to keep his mouth shut in this case because he
Yeah, no, just
likes
those
the
thoughts
wood
do
aesthetic.
catch your mind.
He likes the idea of a wooden mask.
Absolutely. But Yuveld,
Yeah.
you get to roll me a dexterity check with disadvantage
Why?
because you're trying to carve a mask out of a hunk of wood.
Even if I
As
take
you do
proficiency
that,
as a woodcarver's tools, which would allow me to.
Which is it's crazy because we've just been over that your dagger doesn't allow you to use your proficiency with woodcarver's tools for it, unless someone else has woodcarver's tools.
Does anyone have woodcarver's tools?
let me check my inventory.
like a woodcarver?
I don't know. I don't know. Nope. Unfortunately, no.
It'd be pretty cool if Boris was made out of like petrified wood. I'm just saying.
That would be cool as shit.
You kind of fumbled the bag.
Okay, I'm sorry. Woodcarver's tools literally consist of a knife, a gouge, and a small saw.
Do you have a knife or do you have a dagger?
Yes, I have a small knife as part of my sage background equipment.
Okay. Make just a straight dexterity check.
Yippee! You had proficiency bonus?
Nope.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 16.
Ah. Against the odds.
That's not gonna save you here, dude.
I
Don't look at me
know.
like that.
Oh no.
So,
I wanted a wooden mask.
oh, you'll
Okay,
get one. It
I'll
just
get
might not
you.
be what either of you expect. So, as
That
you,
sounds so fucking ominous.
Yuval, you know what? Just describe to me what you're attempting to make.
Okay, so firstly, I am trying to cut it like to be a bit like smaller than the chunk that I removed, so that it actually more or less fits face. I'm trying to make two Like, honestly, this is probably gonna be an afterthought. Mainly, it's holes for the eyes. That's my main prerogative. Like, if I don't get anything else done with this mask, eye holes are probably the get-go part, and holes for string probably to attach it by. Anything that I'm gonna check my equipment real quick, see if I have anything that could also help with this. Ooh, no.
The furnace could help.
Hmm? What?
Nothing.
A
Anyway,
what?
so
Promise could help.
no, a furnace.
Fuck off.
Well,
You're just
gonna-
mad, DM.
I'm not mad because
Yeah, you
I'm the
are.
one that's decided what this fucking mask is gonna look like, and
Well,
believe me, it
too
doesn't
bad.
look pretty. So-
We're not aiming for aesthetics right now.
Let me describe it.
Oh,
You can
God.
judge however you want. So, as you spend the next 45 minutes to an hour doing this process, acting out this task, Oswald, you're quickly working up to this steady kind of pounding of Yuvel's knife, apologies, as you continuously saw it back and forth and jam it in at points. Because while you might have gained proficiency in your sleep, you yourself as a person are not the greatest when it comes to woodworking, considering you've never done it before.
Yeah.
You are just more lucky than most now. Sorry, I was being really spiteful then, but still.
Yeah. I'm
Uh,
just saying that the DM's just mad.
But what ends up happening is you try and like carve out two regular kind of sized eye holes, and then you kind of fuck up the left corner, so you turn them into bigger like circles.
No, no.
And then when you go to do the actual string slits, you get the one on the right perfect. The two little dots, you just bam bam. It's beautiful. But then the one on the left, because this is not purposely picked out wood that are mostly used in craftsman shops, and instead you've torn this just from a tree, jam the knife in. It kind of like digs in a little bit. Bring the knife back, jam it in again, and you watch as a slit gets cracked into it and pushed out. Meaning that when you string this up, for one, Sai will have the eye holes going from just to the top of his cheekbones to just at the top of his eyebrows, and the mask slits, one of them is going to be pretty lopsided. I'm not doing this to be mean. That's what you would have got realistically.
No,
with a
that's
16.
completely fair. Okay, DM, the most important question, is it gonna fucking fall apart if he puts it on?
You have to see.
God. Yveld finishes this shit show of a thing with a piece of string, ties it around gently but still so that it actually stays on, and hands it over to Sai. So, it ain't much, but it's something.
Sai is
For the
gonna
time
look
being.
at the mask, smirking. By the way, he's gonna look at the mask, look at you. He's like, "Let's go outside and try to pick a better piece of wood, and then let me help you. I
As
would like to
much
help you
as I'd
make
love
this."
to, but also, we need to keep moving. I just
All
was
right, let's
because
walk
I
and
know
work.
that Reserm is the only town on the way to Nerevar, and I do not want to run into the possibility of people recognizing you in another town, and us having to deal with that whole shit show.
Hmm.
So what I'm probably
Can
gonna
Sai go outside and try to find an appropriate tree and like use what he knows about nature to try and find a suitable material and working and things?
I hate all of you. Why can't you just wait till you get to
I
a
have
place?
done nothing. Do not love me.
Sai is a druid who loves nature. Of course
You're
he's gonna want a
being
mask
lumped
made
in
out of
with us.
natural wood.
because reasons. Sorry, Austin.
Sure, Sai could buy any mask, but that wouldn't be a mask made by a friend.
Oh,
It's
the
a
main thing
bonding
I was about
I
to
should have had the
suggest.
bounty hunter kill you all. I should have given him 2 reactions per round.
Oh god, please don't.
Two reactions, bro.
Oh, you laugh, but I can't do that. That's actually a legitimate thing. Anyway,
Wrong. So keep them.
no, it's not wrong at all.
Name one creature with reaction.
Vecna has 5.
No, he doesn't.
Oh shit.
Yes, he does. Anyway, or is it 3? I think it's 3. I don't remember. But anyway, so make me a nature check. God damn it! This is the session. This is the session. Make me a nature check.
I had got a 19.
A 19. It's easy enough to find a relatively healthy-looking birch tree, and discern that seems relatively easy enough to select the wood from it. I don't fucking know wood carving terms.
Why did you ask?
Alright, Sai is going to... He's not exactly the best at fine work, but he's just gonna take his motherfucking scimitar, hack a large square into the tree. But he's gonna be
Sure.
careful not to permanently damage the tree. He's gonna want to make sure that the tree
No,
can heal later.
that ain't
not
how
how
this
it works.
No,
That's
no,
not how it
well,
works.
Unfortunate. Sai is gonna hack the tree.
Hack the planet.
You
Yep.
watch his Sai
Peace was never
like
an
goes
option.
forward, like rests his hands upon it in a really loving way, and you're like, oh, is this gonna be like some druidic magic? Like he's gonna like sing a hymn to it, and it's gonna like relieve itself of some wood to him, and then you watch as he just pulls out his scimitar and just.
Oh, this is the most. You better believe Sai is the most backwaters druid there is.
Oh, we know.
It's like ah.
Okay, now you can do this in your free time to make this mask. We're gonna cut over to Oswald. Oswald, what are you doing as you wake up to the sound of Yuveld hammering a knife into a block of wood this early in the morning?
I'm gonna go find my new Boris.
He's run off.
No, I'm gonna leave the cave because you're doing this in the cave. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
outside.
No, Boris
Where
has
can
run
I
off.
find
I'm
Boris?
saying, dug himself out of the soil and just scampered off.
It's like Amazon same day delivery. You gotta
So-
do it at like 11:59.
So, as you exit, describe to me what scene awaits us as you look for your boar, now recently hatched from the earth. Oh god, I got the hiccups.
I think as he emerges from the cave, he just goes to the spot, not too terribly far, that he dug into the earth, buried the cortex. And he just finds like a small crater that has been formed as the form of Boris expanded and grew, and he's just probably lying down in it. I'll just walk up and say, "Alright, stand up."
And immediately the legs come pushing down, and Boris is once more stood in front of you in all of his metal glory.
Alright, follow.
And plods his way along.
I go back to the cave.
Okie dokie. Now, I guess we'll resolve this fucking mask. So, Yveld, you can make a dexterity check.
Can I assist her, or at least try?
How would you like to assist?
Honestly, I would just like to have Sai just like being like telling her what he would like in a mask and what he knows about wood and how it behaves.
Now, question: are you proficient in woodworker's tools?
I'm not where I may not be proficient with woodworker's tool, but I am proficient in every form of nature there is. I feel like I should know a little bit about trees and wood and working with
Yeah,
it
but
and what
I'm not
its
a
properties.
doctor, but I think that I like a bigger liver.
Oh my god.
I'm okay.
Could I at least have my If not with advantage,
I'm
can I at
going
least
to
roll with my proficiency bonus, considering that a
Nope.
small knife is a woodworking tool?
Nope, we've literally just been over that one. I'll tell you what,
Why
I'm going to roll a
not?
d20 right now. If it is higher than a 10, you can roll with advantage because of Sai assisting you.
Okay.
This is the only time I will do this because you would need to actually be proficient with woodworkers tools. This is a very niche case. So, that's a 4. You do not roll with advantage.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, 17. Is it a dex check?
Dexterity check.
Dex plus 1, 18 total.
This one goes better. It's still a little bit
Now we're
lopsided, but it's
talking.
better.
Nah,
And the most important part is this. It's not very curved because you took it straight out of a tree.
Yep.
And didn't treat the wood.
Yep. That's exactly what
I'm
did.
sorry. The DM has never whittled in his entire life. You can still curve a block of wood.
Absolutely. You could,
Yeah.
except you didn't. None of you described cutting out a block of wood. You described cutting out a piece.
I said I cut out a big sizable square.
He did.
I have the
That's
recording.
a
He
square.
did say that.
Not a cube.
Nope, not a cube, a square.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
What
a
I
board.
cut.
Oh my
like
god.
a mask.
Well, like trees are naturally curved. They curve
Regardless,
Oh
inward
my
because
I'm
they're
not
okay.
saying
cylindrical.
it's lacking a curve in a general sense. It's still got a curve to it. It can still function as a mask. It's just not very curved.
Whatever.
Oh,
Who cares?
why
not
would-
It's just.
Nah, Sai doesn't give a shit about
It's
It's
that.
called
fine.
description.
Yeah.
You said it like it was a big deal, like you wouldn't be able to wear it or something.
Yeah, like it was
No.
gonna be faulty when I went out. That someone was gonna like recognize me because the eye holes were too big.
Well, you're not proficient with weaver's tools. We'll see how you tie it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I am going to go over to your corner of the room
Jarvis,
and
slap
stab
his
you with
nuts.
this pen.
I can
Anyways,
bring the bounty hunter back right now.
no.
I can bring him back anytime I feel like it. If you
No.
want.
You guys rolled a
Oh.
12 on that stealth.
No,
Keep
no,
that
no,
in
no, no,
mind.
no, no, no. No, God.
That
Yeah,
12
eventually you
will
will
come bite
finish
us
the
in the
mask,
ass
tries to make
later.
it as fitting to a facial curve as possible, gets the string in there, and signs says, once again, it's not much right now, but if you do want, we could probably get you a better mask in another town or even in Nerevar. This is just to make sure that, I don't know, like, we don't bump into fucking guards who are aware that you're a wanted man and then, immediately arrest you.
Fair enough. At least this one is wearable, and when we get to the next town, we can ask someone who's more proficient with working with wood.
I mean, I now know a couple of things. It's just that, until today, these two hands have never touched any type of woodwork in their entire life. So,
Yeah, Sai's extent of
turns out
woodworking
theoretical
is
knowledge
cutting down
doesn't
limbs and
translate.
throwing them in a fire.
Turns out theoretical knowledge doesn't translate into practice. Shall we get going? I think we should get going.
we've been here a little
Listen.
long. Let's go.
Oh, is that the new Boris?
Oswald just looks down at Boris like he hadn't even noticed him. Yes?
I will never understand how you're so casual about this. I mean, you literally placed something in the ground, and it grew a mechanical bore around that.
For a person who
Oswald.
speaks to an eldritch deity, you find magic to be quite mysterious.
I don't find it mysterious. I find it to be fascinating. I mean, if I could do that, even if I would be doing this like every week, I would still every time in my head go, "Wow, I did that."
Did I just move that with my mind?
But yes, I do think the
Nothing the Marvel humor.
shut the fuck up. But yeah, I do think we should probably get going because I don't know if he's still in that fucking town, if he's following our trail.
Oh, he is absolutely following us, and we get
Yeah, he's
to
probably
Nerevar
following.
as fast as
Yep,
possible.
yep. Yeah, we're going.
Yeah, we're leaving.
We schmovin'.
Where are you leaving to?
Ah.
Nerevar.
Nerevar.
I just said
You said it at the same time for me. Chill. Delays are a bitch. But okay, with that, I would like a group survival check because you're traveling on foot. This point onwards.
Is this going to be a check for this day or for the remainder
For
of
the
our
total.
journey? For the total. In that case, could I say that the next day Yveld uses Secrets of the Lost to give himself proficiency in survival? If not, that's fine.
You're setting out to. I'm asking for the roll
Okay,
today for the
sorry.
whole.
Okay, okay, fair. Damn, this guy's rolling great. 16 plus 1, 17.
15.
18 total.
I've rolled for promise. Don't worry, it wasn't very good.
Stop rolling for promise.
It's okay. It's a pretty good total. So, harried, tired, a touch of, a touch bit afraid, but overall just a deep need to see this capital city after all the trials that have been a part of this journey so far. You set out. As a group, you set out, and over the next couple of weeks, you eventually begin to arrive in the region where Nerevar is situated. Across these couple of weeks, is there anything anyone would have liked to have done, potentially tried to complete, so on and so forth?
Actually, there is only one thing that Sai would do, and that is tell Oswald that he has finally figured out how to transform into a boar.
Okay. Is there anything anyone else wants to do?
DM, just something to keep into account. The entire journey to Nerevar, Yvel does not read Vihar's journal. Yvel does not go to sleep and commune with the Keeper. Yvel stays up every night, the entire night, keeping watch.
Okay. You're traumatized. We get it. I'm joking. Thank you very much.
Seriously though, that I would consider that a traumatic
we're
experience.
discussing
We
your
all
trauma,
almost
okay?
It's
died.
more so a paranoid response.
This isn't a therapy session, okay, Yvel? This is blood and guts. God damn it.
I don't care.
This is war.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
understand
cool.
me?
Yep, I
I
get
mean,
it.
it is a civil war.
Yeah, that's I caused.
Oswald, is there anything you wanted to have done
Hey,
across these
no,
couple of
no
weeks?
harm, no foul, right?
No harm, no foul.
Just
um,
just write up a new letter for when we get to a courier's office.
Absolutely. So, we get to the region where Nerevar, the capital city of Kriasmar, is situated. And though this is a landlocked region, you hear the sound of seagulls and the coast, which is very fucking weird. Oswald, you probably actually would have been to, or at least heard of Nerevar, like a decent amount. You're a scholar. So you would know that the sound of the coast that is present is an arcane illusion, as the denizens of Nerevar believe it to be more pleasant to hear the coast than the natural wilderness that makes up the outside of their city walls. So you definitely know you're in the right region.
Oh no, it's delusional rich people land.
It's peak of
No, that's
magical
cool as shit.
advancement,
No, that I'm
baby.
kidding.
This is what we rock with.
I'm fucking around. That is cool as shit.
But as you continue forward, you pass by several acres and stretches of farmland and fields with various hamlets and homesteads. And across the past couple of weeks, there's not been a relative amount of people you've seen. But here now, you do see dotted around in the distance the scarlet specked figures of the Gold Guard and various common folk wandering about their day. A single road leading you down southward into the giant city of Nerevar, which unfurls itself before you. This canvas of innovation and decay all in one. Decay in sense of its history, innovation in sense of its future. And though there just seems to be a relative sense of peacefulness about the people, and there is still haggard faces and forms much too gaunt
All
for
around.
forms that are much too gaunt for their supposed wealth and opulence, because the Civil War is still happening and supply lines are still being hit. But before you stretches mighty walls of Nerevar, and you do see that there is indeed a large shanty town on the western side that stretches out for so long, and as you follow it from its point of end all the way back to where Nerevar's walls are, you see that it evolves into an actual kind of city of its own, hugging the walls of Nerevar like a child trying not to be separated from its parent. There is a singular river which cuts Nerevar in half, and you follow your way down it. A common dirt road placed next to it. What do you all want to do? Your your destination that you've been trying to reach for months is finally within reach.
Okay, DM, could you describe that again? I zoned out a bit.
I'm not going through all
No,
of that
the
again.
last part, I mean, sorry. I heard the most part, just I zoned out on the last
You're
part.
traveling down the river that splits Nerevar into common dirt road. You're coming down from the south, so you're going to be entering on the north side of the city.
Are
which-
we like already like next to buildings and people and such? Like, is this area like already decently
You're in
populated?
farmland parts, but yes, it is very much decently populated. This is just the main city.
Right. So I do think that you probably should get your mask on just in case, because.
Sai would have. I'm sorry. Sai would have put the mask on when we made it or when we finished it.
Oh, and just not
I
taking it
didn't
off
put
even
the
though we
mask
were
on.
traveling through fucking
Yeah,
forests.
yeah. He's a mask.
Aw.
He likes it. It's made of wood. He's a nature guy. I will never get that hilarious picture of just Sai just touches tree and then just chop, chop.
Peace was never an option.
Peace.
So what are we going to? We need to come up with a plan. Also, do you have anything that you need done in Nerevar specifically? Because like, other than that, after we sort out a place where we'll be staying, I was just planning on hitting Fellwinters.
I don't have anything really pressing at the moment.
I mean, other than the whole devil thing.
Devil thing?
Yvel just looks at him and just shakes their head and says, "Check your notes. Check your notes. And it's probably a good idea just to check them every day for you."
Alright. You will be reminded.
Absolutely. So, as you begin to head your way in, various travelers pass you by, all in differing states of wealth and dress and general states of happiness. Now, as you move forward toward the city and begin to enter into its uppermost regions, you immediately notice that this place is very well off, at least wherever you're entering is. Yveld, you would know. Actually, how much attention did you pay to other cities in your studies or your tutorship?
I'd say Yvel, while it wasn't necessarily the focus for Yuval a lot of what Yuval was looking at, but like Yuval did study a decent chunk of history and like the other locations of the continent, like nowhere near the amount that her father would have, but like quite a bit.
Okay.
More than
So
natural stuff, at least.
with that, you would know you're in the Waterside district, though don't really remember much else about it. Um,
We're in Waterside, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I was just kind of gawking, cause like,
mhm.
Yuval's never freaking been to Nerevar. This place
Oh
is cool as
yes,
shit.
the buildings themselves stretch, and obviously a lot of them are terraced in terms of the residential areas. But even in terraced, put together houses that are all packed together as tightly like sardines as they can, they still stretch upwards for dozens of feet, making up on average 4 to 5 stories tall. And here and there, you do see various street performers doing, little cantrips here and there, just tricks for children and whatnot, trying to get by on a bit of coin. And though this place is still filled with a relative sense of wonder, there is still something a little bit that makes your skin crawl. It's kind of like looking at, LA or Vegas on the postcards, but when you go there, you look down an alleyway, and wow, you actually look down an alleyway in Nerevar, and you see there are numerous gleaming eyes staring back at you. You get the sense maybe you should hold on a little bit tighter to your coin purse. Because even in the rich areas, there are still thieves.
So yeah, absolutely. Yuval is like keeping out an eye for like anyone who gets a bit too close and tries to like brush against us or anything like that, cause like not risking it.
Absolutely. So, where are you trying to go exactly?
I was gonna like turn to Oslo and say we should probably find an inn or something like that.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we see any sort of inn while we're
Uh,
going in?
in this current region, not particularly. However, there actually is a spot with a actual city map on it. Let's say small, a relatively decently sized board that has a large map of Nerevar pinned upon it. I will put that in the Group 5 general
Map.
right now.
Map.
Yep.
Put in world information, you
Shut up! I'll do
fucker.
that after session. Shut up.
Fucker.
But as you look upon it, you realize, wow, they could have labeled this a lot better. And why is the information tab covering half of the map? But oh well. You do in fact see what?
I have a question actually.
Horrify.
I have a question actually. So Storm Giant's Penitentiary, Point A, is listed in the legend. It is nowhere on the map.
That's because I forgot to mark it, motherfucker. Shut up.
Okay, cool.
Don't worry about it. You're nowhere near it. Don't fucking worry about it.
The city plan has just been executed en masse. What is this labeling?
This is incomprehensible. Oh well.
It's pretty easy to read, actually. And you turn to your right, and there's a total.
Boris, kill him.
Well, look, there's an older total. You seem to be a man, dressed in kind of a simple green, robes. That's looking at it, just
Well,
scratching his own chin.
no, I hate to break it to you, but when the legend covers a good third of a district, you have a problem on your hands.
I'm pretty sure Veraline just grew in the past year, which is why it's like that.
Yes, that
I'm
is why
sorry,
you
but-
update and adjust maps. How old is this map? Is there like a date on this map of like when it was like?
No, there's
don't
not,
know.
because I'm not looking up my dates right now.
How old
Well-
does the piece of paper look? I will roll investigation if I need to, DM.
You don't get to.
Okay.
No, now's
Okay,
not
I'm
the
sorry.
time to argue the geographic formations of the city.
I mean,
Random passerby.
if you need help, I do live here. I could help you out.
Oh, that would actually be very nice. Would you know if there is an inn near anywhere in this area?
In lower waterside, no. But if you're looking for one over the river in upper waterside, yes. Depends. How much are you willing to dump in terms of money?
It depends how expensive it is. Gonna turn to
Is
group.
he a
How much are we
distraction
willing
for
to
somebody to
dump?
pinch our purses? Can I
You can
roll
roll me a
perception?
perception. Sure, bro. You can roll me a perception check if you want.
Oh, this is because like Yvonne's still looking around. Yvonne's
Uh,
still keeping an eye. No,
you're actively talking
fair,
to him.
fair.
16.
You seem to be in relative safety right now. Jesus. Ugh. My tongue is escaping me today.
The
I'm like Mark Zuckerberg. But he continues talking to you. I wouldn't really know what the kind of price of it is. I don't
thought
go
you
to
lived
inns.
here.
I do live here. I don't go to
That wasn't
inns.
in character.
I don't care.
That was me being snarky.
Do you go to hotels in the city you live in?
I have once or twice.
Special.
Like what? When was the last time Oswald lay with someone that was not, Horace?
Wife.
Hold up.
Oh.
That's a loaded statement there, friendo.
Right. So if let's say we weren't willing to part with large sums of cash to get some water, an upper water side, where I'm assuming there are other options in other districts of the city.
Oh, absolutely, but you'd have to travel for a couple hours.
We can walk.
Just look. It kind of looks to you all. As this. I'm really bad at this. I'm kind of the doorman for an inn.
Oh, that's cool.
Who is
Uh,
this man?
Some random turtle that's walked up to you and is
You know what?
somewhat being helpful,
Let
but also
us
somewhat being
no
a
longer
hindrance.
converse with the publicly inebriated. I do not
No,
think
you've
this
all
guy
still
knows
talking
who he
about
is
him.
anymore. This man.
Tell you what, Oswald, you can roll me an insight check
Yeah.
with advantage.
Okay. That's a natural fucking 20. I gotta see.
Holy
my...
shit.
It's an 18.
Yeah. Okay. So, appears to be a relatively drunk.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I think it's for us to not speak with them publicly. And for us to go to, I suppose, North Waterside. That seemed
You
to
mean
be one of
upper
his
water
more-
side?
Yes, that seemed to be one of his more salient. points. We should scurry up.
Yeah, we will. This turn. We'll absolutely consider the inn you work at, which is what's the name of it?
No, we're done.
Oh, the brave tadpole.
Is it actually?
No, it's not. He doesn't get it out before Oswald steers you away and begins moving the wall.
We are
Yvonne
not dealing
does
with
like
this man
jot
anymore.
down really quickly like a positioning of all the districts and especially where Heartsease is.
Absolutely. So, you do actually. I will say this: from where you're standing, you'd actually be able to see the upper spire of the final tower of Heartsease. Far off in the distance, the sunlight glinting off of this golden cap to it. But further north itself, you see this, from what you can definitely tell, grandiose arched roof with several towers coming up around it. And between them seems to be some kind of thing connecting them all, but you can't quite make it out from the distance you're currently at. And your best guess is that probably is Felwinter's College, but you're not sure. But nonetheless, Oswald, you lead them towards the river, where you eventually find a bridge to cross over into upper waterside. The bridge itself is maybe 800 feet or so long, and it's not necessarily crowded or packed, though it can only fit 2 people side by side at a time.
This is a tiny ass bridge.
Yep, it is. Because these are public walkways, they are not anything more. Now,
That's okay.
and there is multiple of them as you look up and down the river. There is a numerous amount of them. But as you cross over, there appear to be 2, what looks to be almost like guards, dressed in a fine chainmail, each wearing this kind of thick blue kilt. Though underneath they are wearing like padded leggings and boots and whatnot. One carries an axe, the other carries a sword, and both have fully helmed faces. And as you go to cross, they take a sidestep each together and cut you off from crossing all the way. You need to pay the toll. And you can't tell which one said it.
Well, that's great. What is the...
It is. It's upper waterside. You'll need to pay the toll.
Do we need to pay the toll
Is
every
this a
time we
shakedown?
enter?
Can I roll
This is not a shit. You can roll insight.
Could I assist?
Sure.
Because you
Holy
also look at
shit,
this
on a
guy.
Cracker. That's a 17.
What's it minus though?
That's the minus. I got a 19.
Oh, okay.
I got a minus
Nice.
2 in this shit.
Okay, so the 17. They appear to be official. This isn't a shakedown.
Are you saying we'll have to pay? Wait, hang on, Oswald. Are you saying we'll have to pay every single time that we enter Upper Waterside, even if we rent rooms at an inn there?
You
No,
see
because
Sai is
oh.
starting to get upset.
So, are you still wearing your mask?
We not
Yes,
start
he
another
is wearing his
revolution?
mask, so no one can see it, but
Right.
Sai is
Hold on.
starting to get antsy.
I gotta roll something. Okay, you're lucky. But as you say this, Yveld, you hear Sai kind of like scuff his boots behind you, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't turn to look at the guy wearing a mask in
Yep.
the capital city while talking to 2
Yep.
guards. So you stared straight ahead, looking at them as you asked this question, and the one with the sword, or maybe it's the one with the axe. You don't know because they're fully closed off. Says,
I'd still be able to tell
No,
where the sound
when-
is coming from.
"No, you can't.
Okay.
Magic, baby."
Okay.
I think giving Magic mask guard.
I'm here to give it all to me.
Look at- It is height of magic right now in Aren. This is what it's all about. But as you finish this question, they say, "No, we'll give you a wristband and we'll take your names down. So when you do cross back over here, it's a one-time toll.
Oh, okay.
So it does go out with the seasons."
I guess that could work. How much is the toll?
2 silver.
Oh, that's more than manageable. 1, 2, 3.
These bastards are charging us. How much are they charging us, Terry? 2 silver. The fuck? It's nothing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is 4 times 2 is 8. Yul just hands them a gold.
A
Should
gold?
be enough. There, the 4 of us.
Please don't have that be them interpreting it as bribery.
Wait, I wasn't thinking about it before. No, I'm kidding.
They asked
Wow.
for it. They literally asked for
Wow.
it.
But as you hand it over, go on the sword, kind of nods his head forward. Arms, please.
Yul extends their left wrist, the one that does not have a
And
fucking
almost like a
eldritch mark
snap
on it.
bracelet comes out a link
Snap
of
me
chain.
up, homie.
No, almost like a snap bracelet comes out a link of chain with a single like green block that you can't quite tell what it is.
It's like, what did these do exactly?
Don't know. What's your name?
Yveld.
And the guy with the axe is like got a quill and parchment out. And just looks pointedly, like helmet turns pointedly to look at you. Got a last name.
Oh, right. Yveld Hart.
You step forward and over. Oswald, as you step forward, do you extend your arm?
Slap me up, homie. Yeah,
You
I extend my arm.
extend your arm. Name.
Oswald Mandel.
Forgive us if the boar doesn't get a bracelet too. And you step over, and promise comes through without issue, and then comes
No,
Sai.
what is Promise's last
Question-
name?
wait.
Tell us.
I don't fucking know.
DM question. Once I'm behind the guards' backs, which I'm assuming, like, when I cross over, I'm behind their backs, right? They're still turned to Sai.
Yes.
I'm going to cast message to Sai, and I'm going to say, you should really think of some just random ass fake name to say. Really bad idea to give them your first or last name.
Saya's gonna reply, "Of course I know that, but I'm kind of
Shit.
blanking on a name right now." And then he's gonna send that back to her. Back to her.
They'll
Name.
just face palms.
I am James Cumberbatch, and he's gonna say that as he holds out his arm.
Make a fucking deception check.
Oh my god.
Alrighty then, let's go.
I didn't know we were in the presence of a great actor's third cousin.
Exactly. Oh, that's not bad. Deception?
Yep.
Ooh, +1, 18.
The one with the long sword appears to like kind of just like turn to you, and you're like, "Oh shit! Did I say something?" Before gestures you forward, for you to hold out your arm.
Yeah, Sai holds out his arm, no problem.
Before he puts it on, why the mask?
I like wood. What can I say?
You little face palms again?
He just kind of like he's like shrugging. He's like, I like wood.
Yvel's
Sai
gonna-
really
Yvel's
does
gonna-
like. Okay,
Yeah,
here's
that's
the funny
worst
thing.
Part. That's the
That's
worst part.
that's not a deception. Sai actually does like the mask. He
It also
genuinely
sounds
likes the mask.
suspicious as shit.
It does. It does.
But
Sai
it would be a
doesn't know
persuasion
that.
Fuck
He's
it.
check
telling the
instead of a
truth.
deception.
Yvel's
It
gonna
would.
fucking approach and say, "Oh, he's
No,
going to lean
no.
over to the
Don't
Yvel's
complicate the lie.
Yvel's leaning over to the guy with the long hair and says, he's got some grievous facial injuries. Very self-conscious about them.
Deception
No,
check.
Fuck it, I'm proficient in deception.
No.
So that's a natural 20.
Can I?
For a
I
total
Plus-
of.
I was gonna say, can I assist? But never mind. We don't need
For a
it.
total of.
Plus 2.
Okay. I gotta roll 2 of these cunts.
Why did you risk
Oh,
it?
I dropped that dice.
Why not?
What do you mean? Why not?
So that's a natural 20 plus 2 for the first
Oh,
one. And he's the
God.
defendant. Roll for the next one.
Uh-oh.
So, Sai,
Fuck.
Longsword goes to slap the wristband onto you. Before you lean over Yveld, confident in your words to say this, and turns around slowly to you. And yes, you might be taller than him, but he's also wearing full armor with a sword,
Yeah.
relatively close to you. Right, facial injuries. Would you mind taking that off for me then?
Sai kind
God.
of freezes.
Fucking.
Sai's gonna turn to Yveld and look up at the look at Yveld and look up at the guard and say, "She's right. I'm really self-conscious about them. Please don't make me show you."
goes to pull the sword slightly. Don't lie to me.
DM, question.
What?
Who is he looking at right now?
Looking at Sai right now.
Looking at Sarna. Is he turned away from Yvald?
Yep.
Question. Would I be able to use minor illusion to make it look like Sai's face is disfigured? Because it says that I can create the image of an object.
Sure,
The
but
face is an object.
but Sai cannot move. You are essentially superimposing an image upon his face.
Mhm.
If he moves in any capacity,
I'm going to cast message. Once again, looking at, pointing to Sai and say, "Don't move. First, pretend to take off your mask, but then do not move. I mean it. You
Sai
understand?"
is going
yeah, Austin,
to.
that's how I feel right now, homie.
All you
There-
had
there-
to do was say nothing.
Well, too bad. I did say stuff.
S-
No one said
uh,
you know was in a conversation. Literally, no one said that.
This didn't need to be a.
Sai freezes for one upon hearing that, but then very slowly and carefully begins to take off his mask and lift it up to.
The
And
moment he
tries to
starts taking
move.
the map, I'm going to
Handsome
cast
Squidward.
minor illusion in order
Right,
to make it appear.
Does minor illusion have verbal components?
No.
Does it have somatic?
Yes.
Out of hand check.
That's Okay, where'd you put the music on? That's a 17 total.
Well, Longsword
Not-
isn't looking at you, but Axe is still cognizant of his surroundings, so. So 17, you said?
Yeah.
You're very lucky. As you pull the mask up, Sai, the guy with his hand on the longsword, which is it slightly? Oh, sheathing it. Putting his bracelet around your wrist.
Sai will
Beckoning
then
you forward.
put down the mask and walk forward before moving. Like before moving his face, he will put down the mask and then move.
You mean
forward.
put it back on?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I assume that Sai didn't actually take the mask off. He simply lifted it up so the guy could see his face, so Sai could quickly
yeah,
put it back down.
It essentially looks like just still vaguely like an elf. Not exactly like size, but something vaguely elven, but with this horrific large burn scar just running from one side of the cheek, just almost to the forehead.
Sure. So, as you all pass over fully into Upper Waterside, the green kind of blocks on your chain bracelets give a singular pulse before dimming back down into nothing.
I can't believe that worked.
Held. There wouldn't have been any complication if you hadn't said anything.
You never know that.
They only asked him to remove the mask because it brought up the facial deformity.
Yes, and they probably would have asked him to remove the mask either way. And if you removed it just like that, there would have been a non-zero chance that people, I don't know. Look, I'm not taking any fucking chances, Oz. I mean it.
Kind of shakes his head.
I guess we continue into Upper Waterside.
Okay. Now. Alright, 1 second. Find something. Alright. Now, as you continue through the streets of Upper Waterside, yes, a lot of stuff is very, very expensive looking here. And it's definitely got a sterileness to it. Like, you can't really see a speck of dust upon these streets, which is not necessarily comforting. Further down in the south end, you do hear much more louder, raucous, joyous affairs going on. You hear the snap and bangs of fireworks and the like. But I have a sense that the three of you probably want something a bit more quiet right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you continue northward. And unlike in all the other towns you have been in, Boris gains no looks. Constructs are not necessarily an unfamiliar thing. Obviously, again, things of Boris's size and magnitude are really, really impressive, but in Nerevar, wonders are seen all the time. So thankfully, you don't gain much attention. You continue upwards, up the street, past several establishments, by and large, not really what you're looking for. Until eventually you find this tall, three-storied building. It's got a very decadent exterior. This darkened, almost petrified wood with gold trims and various white paints making up it. There is several stained glass windows which make up the ground floor that show these beautiful mosaic-like pictures of various events throughout history. Now, as you walk up to this place, this inn, you see above the actual doorway in fanciful cursive that actually softly glows is the words "the Celestine." I will put that in the chat in just a moment. And you now see that the wood that makes up this tavern's walls appears to be this winding, gnarled material that Oswald and Yveld, you would know that the majority of nobles and wealthy would consider this a beauty, but you gaze at it and you swear in the wood you see various small indentations of what appear to be faces.
Oh,
Nope, don't like that.
When I say faces, what I mean is this. I don't mean like human faces. I mean more so akin to like theater masks, joy, sadness, and whatnot.
okay. I thought this building
Okay.
had fucking souls trapped in it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure
Eh.
glad it doesn't,
Lol.
right?
Uh,
Don't give the DM ideas. You know that's bad.
Hello?
But so I didn't hear you. What did you say?
There are
Good. No, that's a good
souls
thing.
trapped in this place, right?
You fool.
No, I can't tell you.
how ominous does the building look like, DM?
I can't tell you. But what do you all want to do?
Sai is actually going to be going around town and looking to find a mask shop if there is one, or a wood carver's shop, same diff, and maybe a cloak shop if there is one of those, like a just some kind of cloak that he can get himself, like a good sized cloak, kind of like the one that Adam used to have.
Okay. What are the other two doing?
Irel's actually going to walk around with Sai, mainly looking for 1 second. Where was it? Where's my list? Mainly looking for charcoal, incense, and herbs. Specifically worth 10 gold. Because I've prepared Find Familiar instead of whatchamacallit. I don't know if I forgot.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
shit, I
my
didn't
favorite
send.
spell. Whatchamacallit.
My bad. I just forgot to send you. Yeah, instead of False Life, I've prepared Find Familiar. My bad, DM. I forgot to send it to you.
Okay. Is there anything Oswald wants to do?
He'll accompany them for now. He's keeping his eye out.
Sure. So, eventually, it doesn't take you too long to find your purchases. Admittedly, they are overpriced. So, Yvel, you would have to spend approximately 20 gold.
I have the funds to spare for now. Fuck it.
Yeah, you're in an expensive region.
It is what it is.
Funnily enough, if you were to go to the shanty town, you'd find so much better prices for what you want. But
Well, Yveld wouldn't think about that right now, so like, fuck it.
and also the
Instead.
shanty town is about 6 hours away. Don't worry about it.
Ah.
Now, Sai, you'll have to spend you looking for a cloak.
And a mask shop.
In terms of mask shops, there aren't really any. You're not in an area you're not in a district where theater is the most common form of entertainment. At least not on the ground. But you can find a cloak easy enough that'll cost you about 4 silver for a decent one. Well, decent by upper waterside standards.
Yeah, I'll just yeah, I'll pay it.
Okay. Is there anything else any of you want to do?
I guess we're going to that inn to actually, getting lodgings, unless anyone else has anything to do.
No, I think lodgings are the most important.
So we could head back to the, God, what's its name? The, Celestine? Had decent windows. That's usually a sign that the place is well kept. But we could look around for other ones. I'm certain there's other inns in this district. Oh.
Ah,
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Shut up,
Shooter!
continue. Shut up, continue. Continue. You
Yeah. Are we going to the
yeah,
Celestine?
let's go.
Fucking, yeah, we're going to the Celestine, I
Left,
guess.
right,
How the
left.
fuck
Visit
did you do
Celestine.
that? I wasn't chilling in what? Sorry.
Now, so you enter in, and immediately you get the sense that this place is much bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Maybe some space enhancement charms or something of some form.
Natural British man.
Hot, yeah, the hardest style, baby. High white beams make up the space of the interior. However, there are numerous booths that you see numerous patrons within. There's a stage for what look to be performers and the like, and behind the bar is this white-robed figure, which is a little bit off for a tavern, though maybe this is how they do it in Upper Waterside.
Oh god, not again. we
And
just got away from this.
as you enter, they turn around, and whoever they are, pale hands kind of clasped in front of them, their entire face is covered in a mosaic of glass, just like the ones that make up the windows, stained in various blues, oranges, and reds. It makes up a form of a helm for them, and there's no feature of their face that is seen. It is just a tapestry of glass.
Kind of looks back at the group, decides to approach the bar stand. Hello?
Hello?
We'd like to get rooms here.
Are you wanting singles or are you wanting a group room?
Whichever is cheaper.
Groups. Like groups.
A group room.
Yeah, actually, that's
Well-
probably a better idea, yeah.
We don't have a reservation for you, but we can see what we can do. How many nights are you looking to stay?
You will just look back at the group with this absolute bewildered expression.
Indeterminate, but ideally not longer than a week.
So we'll say at a week's worth. Now, this price does not include bed or breakfast. It does include bed, but not breakfast or any other meals. Those are to be paid for separately, as we pride ourselves on. My brain just had a brain fart. Give me a second. I gotta
The
think about.
maitre d' breaks character.
Just takes off the glass helmet. It's just me underneath. Fuck. This is not, dude. They do. Okay. As we look to put back into the community with our charities for the cost the monetary funds we receive through meals that are paid for in this establishment. We so long to say that. Shut up. Continue. There's no need for insight checks.
No, I'm not. I wasn't gonna insight check. So how much are the group rooms?
We're asking for a week's worth, which will be for the four of you plus the construct. We do have a hazard fee just in case. About 150 gold. You're in Upper Waterside. I don't know if you noticed that, but we don't exactly do things low scale here.
Sai
The bed,
nudges
the bedroom
Oswald.
includes 4 king-size beds, a singular ensuite bathroom which contains its own lagoon pool, and a balcony overviewing Felwinter College and the river.
Sai is nudging Oswald to like to say like, you said you had money.
I never said anything like that.
There is
You
on-command
did on
lighting
the
in
You
on
never
the
brought this up.
in
In
the
person.
it what you did
There
say that you
is-
had that money that was when you said money didn't what isn't that really big of a deal to you. That is what was
I
implied.
wasn't having to expect to pay 150 gold for a fucking room.
Unfortunately, Sai got a bad impression thinking you had
Now-
cash.
They go on to say, voice kind of reverberating from that helm. There is on-command lighting in whichever colors you wish. There is your own personal sense you can add to the room, and there is on-demand music played by our own various constructs if you would so wish.
DM, he said 100 gold.
He said 150 gold.
He said 150.
150. If we divide it like
Oswald's
evenly,
Adam's
that
apple
would be
kind
like.
of bobs a little bit as he swallows his pride. Very well. Take it. And 150 gold over.
Money drains, baby. No, I'm kidding.
No.
So, he takes your 150 gold, Oswald. And immediately upon the desk, without even like a hand movement, is a singular key. You see it says room 15. That'll be on the second floor.
Thank
Lovely.
you very much. Oswald takes the.
Of course, if you do need any further assistance, please do not fail to ask me.
If you do not mind me asking, why the kind of moves a hand, up and down their face. Why the get up? I'm just curious.
We have a guy wearing a mask.
Okay, yeah. This is unlike any innkeeper you've all seen.
They're freaky and Nerevar. Nah. Hey, not like that. Not yet.
Shut the fuck up.
You don't want to know what the real
Blah.
reason behind the tar hands is. But looks towards you as you say this. Spreads the hands wide. Company policy.
If you don't mind me asking, why?
It lets me pull faces at customers I don't like.
Ah, is he saying that in the tone of someone who does not currently like us?
Better fucking like us with
The
our
majority of
fucking
this has
balls."
just been monotone, so you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
tell.
fair. Yellow kind of nods her head. That's actually fair. That's actually really smart. All right, we'll be on our way. Thank you very much. Yellow continues following.
Okay.
Oswald. Lead
There
the way,
is
rich
there is
boy.
a stiffness in his movement.
Absolutely. So, as you arrive to room 15, unlock it and enter in, you're immediately like, "What the fuck?" There's nothing in here. It's a plain room where you can just see there are 4 indentations for where you're maybe supposed to stand. Like there's like an indentation for where 2 feet go, an indentation where another 2 feet go, and so on and so forth. 2 on either side of the room, and a doorway ahead of that, split down the center.
I
It's
guess
magic.
we stand here. Probably. Yell takes a stand on one of the indentations.
Yveld, what is your most what is the bedroom that you've been in or lived in that makes you feel the most safe?
Either Yvel's weird ass sleeping nook at the lighthouse or Yvel's room at the Hart Estate. So
Yeah, which one of those?
I'm gonna roll for it. Fuck it, it's the weird ass lighthouse nook. It's
Okay.
essentially this.
Well, as you stand on it, please describe what this 20 by 20 foot space turns into
It's
with a king size bed, though.
essentially like essentially it does not like it doesn't. I don't honestly know if the bed would be there because like Yelp literally just fucking managed to put up a hammock in the lighthouse and just slept there. It's probably like a hammock with like a bunch of really nice pillows and quilts. And most importantly, like a bookshelf, and not a big one, but like still a decently sized bookshelf as well, and a rug.
Absolutely. Oh, you watch as before you the space transforms into literally just that.
Oh, God, finally, Yvel just kicks back onto the hammock.
And now that you're lying there, you see that right next to the doorway to the exit is a slightly ajar door where you see a tiled floor. You assume that to be the bathroom.
Guys, this place rocks. I mean, yeah, it's a bit on the pricier side, but this is worth it.
Oswald will step into and
Absolutely. Oswald, same thing. All turns into Yvel's space. No one out. No, I'm kidding. Please describe what it turns into, Oswald.
it would probably turn into his actual bedroom in his manor. It's a desk beside a window, a bookshelf lined with all sorts of almanacs, encyclopedias, various adventure novels, general information about the world, and this big old luxurious bed that is really empty for just one person. And he takes in this room and actually recoils slightly at just like the shock of seeing it. That is strange.
It's cool as shit, is what it is.
Kind of tentatively steps in, like every step could lead to him stepping on a trapdoor.
Absolutely. Sai?
What? I'm sorry. I was not focused. What was going on right now?
Well, there's essentially indentations in the floor where you can step. Yvelle has stepped into one, and the space beyond it has turned into her bedroom. Oswald has done the same, and it's turned into his bedroom.
Oh, well, yeah. I would follow
But what
suit and
is
do the same for his.
absolutely? What is the bedroom that brings you the most comfort? What is the
Nature.
bedroom you feel the most safe?
Sai likes nature and likes being around it and feels safer in the woods than he does in a city.
Absolutely. So, describe what it looks like, if you would like to, or no.
Oh. Sai is gonna walk in and rather surprised, he will see what is the extent of the magic of this? Like what is this magic actually able to do?
It quite honestly is literally just wherever you feel the most safe
Oh
sleeping.
wow. Okay. So he's gonna walk in, and he's going to see a campsite, or the walls are still there, but there seems to be some kind of illusory magic around the walls so that it doesn't feel enclosed. It actually looks like it's an open space,
Mm-hmm.
but in truth, it is simply a large tent and a small tent next to it around a campfire and stones. And upon seeing that, he will actually start tearing up, not having expected to find his previous home here, and he walks to his tent, or what had used to be his tent.
Absolutely. We will save promises for when promise returns. Um, and eventually, if some of you were to take a trip into the bathroom tonight, you would indeed see that it is indeed a lagoon-sized pool. Um, expansive, spacious, and hanging above it appear to be numerous nozzles descending from a rooftop, with various switches and levers and buttons and whatnot out on the outsides of the pool that you can flick for them. They appear to dispense various soaps, shampoos, conditioners, body wash, and the like. And the doorway that splits down the middle of your beds, or your bedrooms rather, does in fact lead to a balcony overlooking the river. That being said, you can all take a long rest.
Wow. Yippee!
Yay, long rest.
Yeah. Now, as you all awaken, or stay awake, who knows, with Yveld, um, eventually you do head your way downstairs. And it's at this point where you would notice that there's definitely a much more upbeat energy in the air. It's not as kind of mellowed out as yesterday. And various folk and whatnot are in fact spaces have been cleared from the tables and seating arrangements and whatnot to make room for a pseudo dance floor of some form where folk are actually doing various forms of line dancing, folk dancing, swingers, whatnot, to a tune that this group of musicians seems to be playing. And it's at this point, Anya, where would your character be within this mess?
If not playing violin with the group, he is absolutely just having a wonderful time on the dance floor.
Absolutely. So, as you four plod your way downstairs, Boris in tow, because they actually let constructs in this inn,
Yay!
it doesn't take you long, Andros, to... Also, please do change your name. It doesn't take you long to notice the four armor-clad, magical item-wielding adventurers that make their way downstairs. And you immediately think, wow, this might be a group similar to what I need.
Ah. You see Andros crosses to who would be in front there?
Who's coming down the stairs first?
I'm getting to the name.
Well,
I don't know.
Probably not. I guess Oswald.
Ah, hello. I don't believe I've seen you around here before. Andros and Tara. Nice to meet you. You are, other than incredibly overdressed for a party.
Oswald just kind of opens his mouth a little bit and blinks a couple times. I'm Oswald Mandel. I wasn't aware there was a party occurring that overdressed for. Just this awkward pause, I guess.
Well, there's always something happening at the Celestine. You think the price was for nothing?
Well, I mean, their
eye
rooms are very
twitches.
fancy. Yvel kind of peeks over or Oswald's shoulder. Their rooms are very fancy.
Well,
I'm not sitting in a lot of inns, but that's pretty cool.
son of a. It's my thing disconnected. Well, if rooms were the only nice thing, you'd never leave the rooms. You have to have something to come down here for.
I mean, we've got things to do.
Today.
Yes. Can I I don't know. I guess insight check this guy. I want to try to figure out what the fuck his deal is. Like,
sure. What are you trying to inside check? That's his deal.
just in general, usually people don't really approach us like that.
What the fuck do you mean? You've had many people approach you guys.
Not like that.
This is a return for me vibe checking sewers in Lunar's campaign a few weeks ago.
Oh god. That's a 10.
No idea.
I'm sorry. Do you need something? What's up?
Can we fucking
Oh.
help you?
Wasn't we still standing on the fucking staircase as well?
You're being accosted.
Yeah, sorry.
Well-
At this point, you notice that like people in front of you stopped, and Boris is also in front of you. So you're like at the very back, and it's like, what the fuck is taking so long?
Yeah.
Andros is
It's just like
has
sitting there,
moved-
like trying to see what's going on.
Andros, I want to be perfectly clear, has moved to where they're not blocking the stairs, but is still very much in the periphery of everything.
Oswald's still standing. Yvelle's still standing on the
Oswald's just-
stairs.
well, I guess if he's not in the way, Oswald's just kind of awkwardly shuffle and be like, yeah, like slowly nod head in awkward conversation, but trying to get out of it.
Well, I was sort of looking for company for a very sort of lucrative mission. But if you're already busy, I wouldn't take up too much of your time.
I mean, what kind of mission are you talking about?
Well, I've been hired by a friend of mine, acquaintance, business person, to do some finding of a few people that have gone missing in the sort of Tarhans district. They've gone missing in that area, and I was sort of tasked to find a group to sort of go check it out with. You know, no one goes into the Tarhans alone.
DM, would I know anything about the Tarhans?
Make me a history check.
Okay. That's a 10 plus 7. 17.
Okay, so the Tarhans is largely a workers' district. Warehouses and the like make up the entirety of its. What's the word I'm looking for here? surface. Now, Tarhands itself is a slang nickname. It supposedly once had its own proper district name given to it by the Golden Council, but it's become to be known colloquially as just the Tarhands, mainly because this is by and large the punishment used for all sorts of ne'er-do-wells who make their crimes known in the Tarhands. Yes, it is hands dipped in a pool or pot of tar. It's not a fun punishment. It's not pleasant. It is a region which is definitely on the lesser well-off end, and you could describe it as a seedy area, shady, sketchy, and none of those would be inaccurate. It is a common export location for and import for various drugs and black market goods. Various gangs take up residence there, and overall, it's just not a very nice district to be in.
Hmm. You know, I mean this with all due respect, but usually, Yvonne has at this point made their way down the staircase. Usually when someone hires people for this job, they usually hire multiple people themselves. They don't kind of, hire one person, then they say, "Oh, go find others."
Oh, I'm sort of a people person of my own regard, so that's why I was sort of tasked with finding people.
I see. I mean, I'd assume there would be a payment for this kind of job.
Well, if 600 gold doesn't tickle your fancy, I don't know what will. But, I find it's the journey that counts, not really the payment.
You'll just looks
So when you
over at
say
us.
600 gold,
Hmm?
is that
Is
per
that per person?
Does that mean you're interested in the job?
I mean, I did just put down 150 for a room, so yes, I would like a bit of return on that kind of payment.
Well, I got one. I got some up front, so if we were to get in
Andros, I'll say
contact.
this. If you'd like, at the price 150, you can roll me history and insight check, if you would like to.
I'll do insight.
Okay.
That is a 16 plus 6, 22.
They will probably upcharge by about 50 or so.
Ah, it's at 150. Would it be 600 gold per person, or was it just 600 overall?
It would be 600 per person, but it would be limited to a total amount of 6 people. If you brought any more than that, then it would have to be split amongst you,
Boris
as you
counts
all
as a
said.
person.
But Boris does not count as a person. Boris is a
Fuck.
contract.
Not
Damn
if
it.
they don't know. Not if they don't know.
You're in Nerevar. Everyone fucking knows.
I made him. I get to say if he's sentient or not. Also, he is sentient. That is a fact. That is true.
Answer your question, it is 600 gold per person. Plus a little extra depending on how many people we find. The 600 is just an acceptance fee.
You'll turn sozzled again.
Well, I think that just once again put off our hunt seal. Find somebody or
You mean Luciana?
exceptional monetary. Sorry. It's been too long since we've actually brought her up.
Yeah. Honestly, for the better.
We've been through a lot. The plot
She
has
was a bitch.
been muddied. But now we must once again put it off for incredible monetary gain.
I mean, I guess we could. How long would this venture take us,
Oh, well, really.
approximately?
Depends on how thorough we want to be. Could be. What would the sort of estimated time for completion be for this?
Considering if you were just venturing around the Tarhands district, maybe 2-3 days. But considering You might have to look within the catacombs beneath Nerevar. Could be up to a week, week and a half.
Somewhere between 2, 3 days and a week or so, depending on how efficient and effective we are.
I mean, there are some things that I would prefer to put off as little as possible. Kind of once again shoots Oz a look, but we can. Yeah, I'm down if everyone else is. Kind
Yes,
of looks at Sai as well.
Sai is watching Andros right now and keeping his eyes on him to see just what's up. Like he's like analyzing. And when you look at Sai, he kind of glances over at you and takes his attention away from Andros.
So you all just standing there? What's happening?
standing here.
Hello, Sai. Oh no.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought you started saying something. And, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, someone started talking to me off
Ah.
Yeah, you're all good.
Discord.
Yes, I think
mean-
we will help you.
That works.
That's marvelous news. Should we? What exactly are you doing? But as a potential I could help. I'm like good at looking for people, places, things.
It's mainly that we needed to look for research on a couple of topics in Felwinter's College, probably, or any other archive, library, place of learning that would be willing to depart such information onto us.
Hmm. We would
And,
probably be best going to the college
yeah,
first, of course, if anything.
that was kind of the plan as well. Kind of leans in. You wouldn't be familiar with the catacombs under this city, would you?
I sort of prefer to stay above ground, but I'm not unfamiliar to the idea of catacombs.
Just nods and says, I'll keep that in mind. But yes, actually, if you don't mind, I have a thing that I'll need to do. Give me like an hour and 10 minutes or so. Also, if you don't mind, could I have the room key real quick? I have a thing I need to try. It is going to be beneficial in the long run.
He hands it over, hand shaking.
Yep, Giveld is going to head over to the room, really quickly set up the things, and I'm going to spend the next, hour and 10 minutes ritual casting Find Familiar.
Okay.
It is going to take the form of, it's going to take the form of this, well, once Giveld emerges, Giveld does lock the door, hands the key back to On, and you see on Giveld's shoulder this, well, the silhouette definitely looks like an owl, except it's made out of this inky blackness that looks slightly like watery a bit. It looks as if it's struggling to maintain its solid form, honestly. And Yvel is just beaming. Yvel looks incredibly proud of himself.
Please just DM it to me for my reference what the stat block is for this thing.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Alright, we can go.
They've already left. They've left you behind.
Oh no.
Yep, we're all gone.
Ah,
Goodbye.
shit.
Speaking of,
Yeah, you gotta go. It's all right. Au revoir, my friend. I
Recording.
That's okay, cause it is very very late, and I'm gonna have to call the session here. I'm sorry for taking so long to get you in, Anya. I wasn't expecting it to run on this long. But hopefully next week we have everyone here, and we'll come back to the horrifying implications of Yvel's goop